Hi, guys.
Hi.
Casey, glad to have you back.
Oh, I'm so happy to be back. Although my spot was filled with beautiful shoes.
Beautiful people. And I know you've been shooting and so crazy, but I'm so glad to have you back.
I'm so happy to be here and to see you. And I'm sorry my face is swollen up from an IPL facial and a.
Can you explain what an IPL facial is to those who don't know?
I just quickly drove out to Agora Hills in rush hour to get my face resurfaced. And the dermatologist, who's not a dermatologist, nor is she a nurse, nor is she...
What is she, a non-professional?
A non-de plume? What?
So not a nurse and not a doctor. What?
Esquire.
Esquire.
I don't... She's a person.
Oh, because you have been suggesting her to me, and is she a physician's assistant?
So I've been calling her Dr. Karen, but in fact, she is Karen.
So she's a Karen.
But honestly, here's what she said to me. She's like, do you want a dermatologist doing your Botox and your this and your that? She's like, they're seeing burn victims. Don't you want me, who does it 20 times a day for the last 20 years?
But what was she doing before? No. So before she started doing this, like, I'm just curious, like,
beauty. She's always been in the beauty industry.
So she's always,
yes.
Okay, all right.
I think she might have a degree, a couple in her back pocket.
But of what? And again, this is all fine.
I don't know, Danielle. I didn't ask. I'm not looking around for certificates. She's got nice candles and she's got a thing that says beauty comes from within as she's like hitting me up with Botox.
Is she doing surgeries? I mean, not on you, but like in general.
Danielle, no. This woman is putting filler and poison in people's faces.
That's all I want to know. I'm just trying to get specific.
And she'll do lasers.
Okay.
But you know what I love about this woman, and a bunch of friends go to her, which is why I drive an hour plus, is that she is very mindful of our time because she's like, I know you drive a long way out here. So when you come for your IPLs or your peels or whatever the hell, if you need numbing cream, she's like, I'm going to give it to you in a little thing. I'm going to give you a pink robe, like a hospital gown. And you're just going to wear it in the car and you're going to numb yourself up at home. And then the numbing cream will be working while you're on the 101. And I'm like, this is the type of multitasking
she has your time
a woman needs.
In mind. And I like that. I think I've said this to you before, but I don't need a numbing cream. I'm numb. I was born numb.
You're comfortably numb.
I was born numb. I was born ready to get whatever I need in my face and in my body. Thank you. As a person who needed to get an epidural at 1 centimeter dilated, I'm surprised that because the first time that I was getting some sort of treatment, it was, it's called a limelight. It's like a laser resurfacing, if you will. And I was a spackling of my face. I just didn't have the time to wait around for half an hour because my place does not have your time in mind. They're like, you can just sit here and wait for the numbing cream to work. And I was like, I don't have that type of time. I got to get to work. And so they were like, okay, let's just move forward. And I did not feel a thing as they burned a layer of skin off my face. It was fine.
Wow, Danielle.
Fine. Right as rain.
I was on numbing cream having to hold a ball. I was blowing a blower in my face, kind of like a cold vacuum cleaner kind of, or like what's the thing what is a dustbuster kind of type thing in my face? I was snapping, asking her how many more.
I was just like having a conversation about a restaurant. I was like, fine.
Wow, Danielle. You are a very strong person, so that does not surprise me.
But it surprised me, I think, because of, again, I think of myself as a very strong person, but because my labor experience, like I couldn't even get out the door because I was like, I'm definitely getting an epidural, but I'm probably not going to need one till later is what I thought, if at all. And then when I got through and I'm screaming, like, I'm going to have the baby in the car. And then
you were screaming like,
yes, like, get my daughter the epidural.
Shirley MacLaine in terms of endearment when you got to the hospital.
Basically. And for them to say like, and I was like, I bet I'm like about to like, open wide and have a baby. And they were like, you are 1 centimeter dilated. We usually send people home, but you don't seem to be in a condition to go home.
You don't seem to be ready to go home.
And I was like, I won't go home. Wow. And so they gave me the epidural. So again, who knows what my pain tolerance is? Maybe my face is just numb from years of use.
Well, Danielle, speaking of numb.
Great transition, Casey.
Thank you. I had to develop very thick skin and become numb to our guests' words for me concerning an important matter that is my public persona on social media. that is a very roundabout way to get into who we're bringing out here, okay? We're bringing out a new person in my life. Now, I've known this person for some time, but he's taken on a new role, Danielle.
He sure has, because like I've always known him as a talent and an artist, but he's really become.
He is he does hair and glam. For all the greats.
He's such a talent and
hairstylist, gorgeous work,
and a gorgeous person. I have to say, very good looking.
But he also has taken on some different roles, which is what I did not know. Is that this same person who does hair, and again, I love it. It's like everyone has multi-talents. He's a photographer and he's a social media director of certain of his, and he will explain all this to you, but certain of his clients, he's so great at photographing them. And then he's sort of kind of taken on this de facto role of like consigliere and kind of managing their social media. And he is reluctantly taking me on as a quote unquote client. I'm not paying him for that service. And he is really, as he pointed out, perhaps my Mikey Minden.
Wow. We all need a Mikey Minden to live with us and love us.
Don't we? Please welcome Danielle, a man who has so much to teach us, just a love bug and a talent, Clayton Hawkins.
Wow, you guys, this is a gay fever dream to be here. I'm going to be honest. I can't believe it's happening, to be honest.
Wow.
You're such a light. I'm so happy to have you here.
Casey has been talking much about you lately. I'd always heard about you and talked of you, but this is she talks of you every day now. It seems to be.
Listen, me and Casey have something, Danielle. This is nothing to be intimidated about. We have something special, okay? Here's what I will say though, Casey. You say that I'm reluctantly taking you on. I remember when I met with my agents years ago, because in LA, even hairstylists, of course, have agents. They were like, who do you want to work with? Who are your dream girls? And I'm like, well, Casey Wilson and Michelle Collins. And they're like, oh, what about, like, should we throw Bella Hadid in there too? Just in case that's... And I'm like, no, I want to
round out that gorgeous triumvirate.
I'm like, I want to work with Casey. I want to work with Casey Wilson. And this is happening.
And Michelle, who's gorgeous. She's a star. She's a stunning, stunning star.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, well, that hasn't happened
What are you
yet.
waiting for? We can make that happen.
Okay, we can make that happen.
We DM.
She's stunning.
Okay, but she needs to know everything that can go on. So, thank you so much for saying that, Clayton. That's so sweet. I'm so touched.
Well, that's my before I give the tough love.
Oh, okay. Here it comes. Here comes the hammer.
Here comes the hammer. The hammer. So that was that. So, Clayton, I don't mean to like exploit your gorgeous clients, but like it seems you have kind of climbed the ladder since that request to your agent, because you've got some gals, and these are young gals. You're basically trafficking in the like uber popular 18-year-old gals, like your Dove Camerons, your Olivia Rodriguez's, your Maddie Zieglers.
Listen, if someone would have told me I'd be living through a global pandemic and attending multiple 18th birthday parties in 1 year, I would have said, that actually sounds good.
Sounds great.
I would have said, are you an anti-masker? Because I feel some of it, because these kids are like, we're going to be okay.
Well, they're immune. They're fine. And I'm sort of taking on their immunity. Does it work that way?
Yeah, sure.
And you're not their age, Clayton. You're not their age. But you're young. You're young at heart.
Maybe I'm young at heart. Well, I'm 32, so I feel like that's like a young
very
adult.
Young.
Very young.
I actually thought you were older.
Okay.
Because you have a world wisdom to you as well, I think.
Sure.
Yes, and a world weariness.
Yeah.
So, Clayton, I am looking now at your Instagram. Everyone needs to follow it, Clayton Hawkins. And the do's I'm seeing are so incredible. You and I did a photo shoot together. Wonderful news. I am on the cover of Entertainment Weekly coming up about my new book. And
this is huge.
That's major. That's major.
I just have to...
It's the book issue. Let's just call it what it is.
Huge.
Casey, can you receive the fact that you're on the cover of Entertainment Weekly? I want you to like really absorb this into your soul. This is not small. This is big.
I'm trying to receive it, but thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I'm very excited. And I felt like I could reach out to you. You did my hair and you did so much more during this hair and makeup session, Danielle. And the reason I wanted to bring Clayton on, Danielle, is to help you as well and to help all of our listeners.
What, you don't think my social media presence is up to snuff?
I think it's electric, but Clayton will, I'm sure, give us some pointers.
Can we hear what we're doing wrong, Clayton?
Well, while I was getting my hair done, Clayton just said quickly, you had some issues and took some umbrage with my social media and you wanted me to stop saying I was old and stop saying I couldn't do things. And you had a lot of words of wisdom. Can you share them? Because I think everyone can really benefit from this, even though it's hurtful.
Well, here's the thing. Casey, you are young, number one. Number two, your fan base is young, okay? The gays go wild for you.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And when someone makes the choice in their day to hit that follow button, they're saying to you, I want to see you. I want you to post for me. So when people are like, oh, I don't really post, I don't do that. It's like, well, you have hundreds of thousands of people that have elected to receive your content.
Of thousand, but yes.
Guess what's going to happen by the end? Like when we're done with our seminar, we're going to have hundreds.
Wow. I have 40,000.
Me too. Okay,
get ready, Danielle, for more.
Okay, but hashtag get Casey to a million. Let's get that.
Let's start it, Danielle, and then hashtag get Danielle to 50,000.
52,000, please.
Both of you are so funny,
thank you.
And so good off the cuff. And it's like, I think that people think that social media needs to be this big production. It needs to be thought out, when really what people are looking for is those raw, I just said something funny to my friend, let me be out of the moment and get my phone out and then say it onto a story. And when Casey does that, the world notices.
Wow. Stop. Now, I will say Clayton had me do it while we were doing the photo shoot together. He's had me do it twice now. And I will say, I can't help but notice that friends and fans alike leapt to. And they did. But here's the thing, like when I follow someone, I'm not like, I demand you to post, but then I guess maybe I am. You think I was posting too little.
But you know who I get upset at? I think like there's the Barefoot Contessa, who everybody knows I'm in love with, also want her to be my mother, my father. I have a lot of issues surrounding her. I don't believe she posts enough. But so I'm always desperate for content from her about Jeffrey, about her house in the Hamptons. Like, and I'm like, I'm not getting, like, even her blog, I'm like, not getting enough of her.
But Danielle, you are someone's Barefoot Contessa.
No, don't even. I couldn't even.
Wow, Danielle, that's true. You are.
You are someone's Barefoot Contessa. And here's the other thing, guys, is if you don't want social media, if you think that it's toxic, which spoiler alert, it is, for sure, don't have it. But if you're going to participate, don't go 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you're going to do it, don't have any shame. Don't be like, I'm embarrassed about what my friends are going to think. Post for those people. Post for the Danielles that are waiting for the Barefoot Contessas.
Wow. Because I would take anything. I would take a picture of just like a bad hair day from Ina. Like I would take anything.
Sure.
Right? I'm desperate for her love, for her attention, for her. And all I want is for her to like say something back to me.
See, this is how I feel about Gabrielle Union's daughter's account.
I love her.
I want more from her. But okay, so I heard that, Clayton, and then you were upset the times I was posting. Which,
does that matter?
Many people know the algorithm.
That does matter, right?
Time. Listen, as comedians, you should know it's all in the timing, dolls.
All right, Clayton, let's stay in your lane. Whatever those many lanes are.
There's some things we know and some things we don't, but there are some things we know.
Like a dart hits me in the neck. Okay. Well, here's the other thing, guys, is it's what you post to. So 9 a.m. to noon is perfect. That's West Coast time.
Okay, 9 a.m. to noon West Coast time is when we should be posting.
Correct.
So 6 a.m. if you're on East. Now you do that math. Okay, go on.
You got to get up early. And here's the other thing. Here's what I find is the magic sauce. Here's that mixture. And it's a high.
Again, please know Clayton is running many of these girls' accounts. Okay. So Clayton knows what the hell he's talking about here. Go on.
And here's what it is. It's the high and the low.
Meaning.
So you need to post yourself at your most glamorous, at your most face-tuned, at your most snatched. But for as many of those as you post, you need to post yourself looking terrible.
Looking a mess?
And looking a mess because when it's all high highs, you get sort of like the Dorit effect where it's just, you have to top yourself. And it's a hill you can't climb. But when you sort of give those oscillations between like really raw, unfiltered, and then super glamorous filtered.
And this is for everybody. We're talking, this is
for everyone.
This is for everybody.
Lady Gaga does this.
And also like your neighbor should be doing it. Like if we're on social media, this is for everybody to hear.
If anyone takes anything away from this, it's that everyone who's listening, you are someone's barefoot Contessa.
That's beautiful.
Wow. Now, Clayton, after you swung my chair around and said you had some tough news to tell me, and that tough news... This was hard. You said, I'm going to say something that's very hard to hear.
Yeah.
And that was that I needed to get on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
You've kind of steeped me in the world. Like now I'm on, I haven't posted anything yet, but I'm involved. I'm making my algorithm, I'm getting the kind of the content I want. And I think actually it is a medium I could do. I'm going to make a promise here and now to no one cares but you, Clayton, and but I am going to make a promise here and now that I am going to start
TikToking.
Because Danielle, I think you would be great at it.
Well, my daughter
Totally.
does TikTok. I don't let her post publicly, but she loves to make TikToks. And I find it to be a very creative outlet she's 7, as we know, but I find it like she's editing it. Like she's so smart about like how to make a cool video. And I'm impressed by her talent and her comedic choices on TikTok that, again, nobody sees but us. But she understands it in a way that I never will. Or maybe I should.
I mean, that whole generation, we're raising, and by we, I mean, not me because I don't have children, but that generation, we have Oscar-winning editors. 4 out of 5 of Gen Z is an Oscar-winning level editor.
Yeah, that's
something.
Sydney, man. I mean, she can really...
Wow. Well, and last thing, Clayton, so I then went to my agency and I was like, do you guys have a social media department? They're like, yes, we do. So my manager and I get on what I thought was going to be the world's saddest phone call that I was like, oh, I'm embarrassed. I was like crouching outside of a CVS. Like And basically this woman was actually pretty amazing. And she was like, and she's been behind a couple, and I won't say very big social media accounts. And I was impressed by her. And she said that everyone has their buckets, which is like, okay, maybe your bucket is like hair and food and politics or whatever anyone's things are, but that you need to really make sure you're filling your buckets kind of in an equidistant, is that the word? No, equal manner, like you're spreading out your stuff, whatever your interests are. And it doesn't matter really what they are as long as you're hitting those interests.
Every time you post, you need to think about your bucket. You can't just post from the heart.
Well, she says that you need to think of your Instagram page as the coffee table book of your life. And it needs to reflect you and your brand. And you need to really think of the medium that you're posting for, be it Twitter, be it, She was very upset with us, Danielle, as well. She pointed out that we have an Instagram page that has a few, thousands of followers that we haven't posted on in many years.
Oh God. That's pretty shocking. I chill just went up my spine, if I'm being honest.
It's really bad. And she's like, you guys, you need to either pull yourself together enough to post once a week or wipe it clean.
Wow. Yeah.
She's like, people get angry when they see that. And I was like, really? Are people angry? Like, I feel like we're giving a lot of content. We're not in the meme game, Danielle. You and I, we don't have time. So many people do that so well with the housewife stuff.
And yes, they're amazing. I don't have the talent. I don't have meme talent. I do think
time or talent.
A talent that I do not have.
And I don't want you, especially with TikTok, I don't want you guys to be jumping on trends, trying to do the latest thing. Like that's a losing battle. I don't try to do that. What you need to do is, if the bucket metaphor works, you need to sort of find your own thing that you're good at, and it needs to be just off the cuff. So literally, if you could be watching a funny commercial and be like, wait, what is this? And literally just quickly get your phone, record the commercial, and record your instant reaction. Like that is what people will respond to from you.
Let me ask this, and I'm sure our audience is like, Danielle, get it together.
No, Danielle, I'm laughing because I'm sure I asked this or I don't know.
But why am I doing that on TikTok and not Insta?
Great question, Danielle.
So not having a TikTok now is like someone in 2010 being like, I don't need an Instagram. I have a website.
Wow. That's tough.
You can't see Danielle's face, but it's not good.
It is also, and not to be gross, but you guys, this is lucrative. Like I only got into this when the pandemic started and I was like, am I going to
Now, are we still talking about everyone listening or just Danielle and I?
Everyone.
Have we cut everyone else off? Let them go. See ya, folks. See ya, civilians.
Anyone can make money if they figure out what their position is.
If you figure out your bucket.
I'll tell you, people are fucking funny as hell on there.
Oh my God, that is the thing.
And these aren't comedians. Like, tell the Jennifer Coolidge. Well, everyone I'm sure knows this.
Well,
and
I was saying,
I know I'm coming off old.
The perfect example is Jennifer Coolidge, who's someone who, Casey, I believe she's on the People Beautiful list with you.
Thank you for bringing that up, Clayton. She is on the Beautiful at Any Age list, of which I was named 40. And she's on there as well.
And do you remember what age she is? But she's older than I thought she was with Love. Like, I think she's like 59.
I haven't memorized the ages, which I wish, but I'm so focused on 40.
You really haven't focused on 40. I'm worried about 41 for you. I just hope it.
And that could actually be my new platform, focused on 40.
Thank you. You better fucking rock this year because you are beautiful for this year. And I don't know. I hope 41 is good for you, but like 40, you've really conquered 40. And I think
Well, I only have till fucking October 25th.
Oh, there's time. There's time. Let's get Casey to 1 million.
Why would they bring it out mid-year? Casey to 1 million. Okay, but
well,
they
it's
only give me
mid-year for
half a year with this title.
Casey, I hate to tell you this, but it's only mid-year for you. For everyone else, it's not mid-year.
For everybody else,
I know, but you guys know my new calendar started with Beautiful at Any Age. That's the new year for me, and that's what I'll be celebrating.
Happy People New Year to you.
Happy People New Year.
Well, what I was going to say is Jennifer Coolidge is maybe 57 or something, and her social media is fire. She has a viral video of her in glam, and they're just panning up from her shoes to her stomach to her face, and she just turns to the camera and goes, "Hi." And it probably has over 2 billion views across all platforms. More people watched that than all of the Oscar-nominated movies this year combined, I guarantee you.
What?
I guarantee it.
So then Clayton and I took things one step further this weekend.
Oh, boy.
Danielle, and we will get to Housewives, everyone, but Clayton basically told me, look, you need some photos, because I'm working with, scraping the bottom of the barrel, And he was like, and I'm like, for professional ones? I was struggling to understand this concept. And he's like, no, we need to just, take some photos, some fun photos.
Content day.
Content.
Oh my God.
Content day.
I know that was hard for you to hear again.
That was really hard to hear.
I might have not used those words until after the shoot.
You never told me that's what you did.
Until after the
shoot. I had my publicist listed on my schedule as a fake photo shoot. And I made everybody refer to it that. Because it felt so gross, even though we had a blast.
When you guys see how stunning, how snatched, how good Casey looks. Here's the thing. The audience might be angry, being like, well, why wasn't she sharing this with us? That's my fear.
So you think I might lose followers?
I think they'll be upset for a moment, but ultimately grateful.
They'll get over it. Okay.
Yeah.
But we did a photo shoot just for content. And it's just, you said it's a new paradigm, and I'm wrapping my head around it, Danielle. And I think you and I can move into... I really do, Danielle. Can we commit together?
To what are we I already committed, but I don't know what I'm committing to.
Okay. Clayton, what do you think we should commit to? I think TikTok and what else for Danielle?
I tried to do Snapchat a few years ago, and that did not go well.
No, Snapchat is more of that's more for messaging people. That's more of for your friends. Okay. And these platforms are more for your fans.
Okay. All right.
I would love to get Danielle in the mix, Casey. I would love to do a
content.
Maybe we get the Bitch Sesh Instagram really poppin'.
Okay, well, I want to ask fans, do you need this from us? Be honest, because we're busy. So do you need to know the upcoming guests? We just don't do any of that. But I could be better about that too on my own page. And I say we wipe that one clean.
Yeah, how much content do you guys want from us? Do you feel like you have enough? Enough, Casey and Danielle? Are you with me?
Probably they're thinking of themselves.
Are you like me with the Barefoot Contessa, where you want more?
Right.
I want to make something clear, though. I wouldn't have had this conversation with Casey if not for two things. One, if I didn't think that she had the goods. Wow. And two, she's trying to sell a goddamn book.
That is true.
I want this book, #get Casey to #1 on New York Times bestseller list. And we got to get that book out there, because you do a magazine shoot, you do an interview on TV, and you think, oh, I've done my job, the world has seen it. No, people need to see it every day on your Instagram for it to ring in their head, for them to go, let me go to the Amazon cart and click buy.
Now, I do feel the listeners of this particular podcast guys have heard a lot about the book and are, in fact, disturbed and upset and angry. And I get that. And that will all end May 5th. I promise.
We do have, speaking of which, I'd just like to remind everybody that we do have an upcoming book sesh show coming up April 29th. And that is not only a celebration and some interviewing with June Diane about your new book, but also our regular Bitch Sesh live show where we will talk so much Housewives with Miss June, who has not been on a live show in so long. So it's a big combo.
And I want to say, Danielle, I have a comprehensive boots on the ground that I've been holding on to personally because I was told I could never, ever, ever tell it. And it is so dark. And I will be
really.
So there is. Yeah, I'm just going to break moral boundaries just to sell this book, which I know Clayton's nodding.
Yes.
Like, thank you.
This is what I want to hear. I knew you had it in you.
You do. Casey, because Casey knows that I'm sometimes not willing to go to the places Casey is willing to go to. Like sometimes Casey and
I always want to talk about Taylor Armstrong. You won't let me.
And so like Casey is willing to go to places I won't. So if Casey says that she has a boot, then it's big because if it is, then she's got a boot because yes. So I have to say that like these are the things that I have not let her let out because I'm like, Casey, this is too much. Like this is too dark or this is too damaging. And Casey, this is one that
also we need your boots on the ground and you can appear live on the show and give it to us. Send them to bootsonthegroundbs@gmail.com. bootsonthegroundbs@gmail.com, and we'll get in touch with you, bring you to the show for free, and you can come on and give it to us straight.
And can I say something else really quick? And then we will get into Housewives, I promise. Because I do want to talk about Jen Shah with you guys since you guys weren't here when the arrest went down. And so I do want to talk about that. But
thank you, Danielle.
I've read Casey's book, and it is truly one of the funniest and also one of the most beautiful books I have ever read. I'm going to read it again because I love this book so much. And I'm not just saying this because Casey is a dear friend. I'm saying this because Casey is an amazing writer. And Casey is also lived a fucking weird life so far. And she's so damaged. No, I'm just kidding. But
you helped me so much with it, and I really appreciate that.
I don't care if you get it from the library. I mean, I hope you buy it because, but
I'm honored if someone read it.
I want you all to get.
Capacity. No, I don't want them going to a library. I want you guys to go on Amazon, and I don't want you waiting for paperback. I want you guys, everyone who's listening, to pre-order
Clayton
now.
Is more of the social media where I am just. I'm telling you, this book is. You will fly through it. I swear I flew through it in like an hour and a half.
Thank you.
So anyway, it's a great book.
Thank you. Well, come to our show. Look on my Instagram. This is also, of course, a plug for our Instagrams at Casey Rose Wilson, Danielle at Danielle Caroline Schneider. And the information for the show, if you buy the book, just send us proof and show up to the show. I'm so excited to have Clayton Hawkins here. Should we take a little break? And thank you for saying that, Danielle, truly from the bottom of my heart. And for all of you guys listening and being so supportive about this book that has been 5 years in the making. You will never hear me say the word book again after May 5th. Let's take a break.
Hi guys, we're back. And
we're back.
I just wanted to touch down with you both because the news of Jen Shah is broken, and I have discussed it with obviously Matt McConkey and Brian Safi a little bit last week. But Casey, and you had some new details that I wanted to discuss with you that you came to me about maybe an FBI sting that was going on in Jen Shah's crew.
Yes. So there is a Reddit thread happening, which is basically someone saying like, who else is watching Salt Lake reruns looking for the person who was allegedly the FBI agent that sold Jen Shah out. So basically people are thinking that either one of the assistants, remember people were blurred?
Yes,
Danielle?
I do remember that.
Which that raised my antenna because I'm like, in the history of Housewives, nobody's wanted to ever be blurred.
Yeah, like sometimes an extra here and there, but never like a person like in someone's crew. If you're in someone's crew, like you know who you are. You know what you're doing there.
100%. And so someone's saying there was a guy in the Glam Squad, episode 3, that had his face blurred out and his outfit looked like he could have been an undercover agent. And then, of course, there's a link to a TikTok showing the scene.
So I can't access it.
It all goes back to it. But people are saying that indeed there was someone blurred out that really was kind of behind this and figuring it all out.
That's the perfect job
what do you
for
think?
me. half FBI informant, but like also housewives. Like if I could be an FBI informant on a housewives show, like that is, I want to be on that show. Like I want to.
You could be the assistant, and Clayton, you could be the hair person.
I mean, this is literally like a Mrs. Doubtfire type, like Christopher Columbus future classic movie in the making, where I'm part of the glam squad and working for the FBI.
And I'm going to come to find out that you don't care at all about my social media, but I've committed a crime. And really,
well, and you know,
you're like, how will she believe this? I work with 18-year-olds. They're like, make it work. Just tell a story about your agent. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, that's the perfect job for me. If I could get in the FBI, one way is through the reality TV division of the FBI. I feel like
I mean, this is a Sandra Bullock vehicle if I've ever heard one in my entire life.
Yeah, of course.
But, and can I say, I don't even want the movie of it. Like, I want that to be my job. It's like just a reality TV show division of the FBI where you are deployed to different reality shows where people are doing terrible things and you have to go undercover to find it.
Forced to fit in.
This is a job that I was built for.
Well, because you were on an undercover prank show.
Many.
Wait, which one?
So many. I was on one called Sledgehammer. It was, I was doing awful things. And then I was under one called like My Big Fat Obnoxious Boss. It was all terrible shows. And they were all sort of like, you know, it's
Were you on Boiling Points?
No, I wasn't. I didn't know people on that though. Again.
I made it down to the final fucking audition for Boiling Points. In hindsight, rejection is God's protection.
Yes.
I love that show.
It's so good.
Name an improviser in the 2000s and they were on some prank show. We were all just trying to get our shit out there, basically.
Well, it's pranking culture was the 2000s. Yes. Like that would never fly now.
No, but in the comedy scene, it was like we couldn't get on TV unless we were fucking with someone, basically. So.
Yeah. Really
the only way they'd put
really actively making someone's life bad.
Yeah, and they were like, we're like, I'll do it for you'll pay me $100? Great. I'm in. Sure.
And you'll cut my hair into a weird bowl cut.
Great. I'm in. Please. Thank you. Should we talk about Jersey since it was the most recent episode? Can I say I'm so sick of talking about Teresa's pineapple puss. Like that
was tough.
Can't with that anymore. I hope she's getting it, in and out and up and down, but I just can't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm loving this season, though, you guys. I am
too.
This is my favorite. Even though I love Atlanta, I kind of am enjoying my time, and Jersey feels like old school Housewives again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why do you think? Do you think the energy or what?
I think you wouldn't know that there's a global pandemic going on based on them. There's like there's nary a mask.
And I think Jackie wore one like to roll up to the brunch, and that's it.
Yeah, she literally like had it in her hand. She was like, "Hi." It was like great.
And I just think that there's a perfect blend of. It just feels like real drama. Like they're talking with their families and there's these real moments that the family moments on Jersey, you don't have moments like that really on any other franchise. And I've come to really appreciate that this season.
I'm obsessed with Jennifer Aiden and her family. Now she is a housewife that when she came in, I was like, I don't know if this works. And she's like rising to the top. Like she's so watchable. Her relationship with her husband, I'm loving now. And
I like when she goes like with no makeup a lot. I think she looks beautiful.
High and low.
She's doing a real high-low that's working. Yeah. Like same when I love Kim Kardashian with no makeup, but she never does it.
Yeah.
And also just the heartbreaking stuff with Jen's mother and father. Wow.
That was the most real, name a scene on Beverly Hills that was where the stakes were that high and were as real as her with her mother and father in the same room.
When the mother's like, I never loved you. I never knew a day of joy with you. It was this arranged marriage. She begged her mother on the day of her marriage, I don't want to marry this man. I mean, have you ever?
And Jen was so caught. I mean, here's the thing. The psychic did say, Jen, I need you to talk to your mom. And I need you to say, I'm on your side. Did we think she would do it in front of the father?
No. Or the children. All of that was maybe.
The dad was like, do go away.
Yeah. Please.
That was hard.
That was really hard. The mom is what's going on there is a lot.
There's deep psychic pain. Like, speaking of there's deep psychic pain, generational pain flowing out of her pores.
Yeah, it's really sad.
I had been sort of angry at her mother being like, she's being so mean. But then when I didn't know how dark and deep and how back it went. And now I feel so terrible for her mother.
And especially as a mom, I get where the mom is like, your dad was never there. And she's like, I have really great memories of him. And she's entitled to that. And I'm sure he was really nice. I'm not taking away from that, but just even that really hit me of like, this mom seems to give up her whole life to both him and I'm sure to her kids, and to just see these kids be like, we love him just the same. He worked all the time or whatever. It just tweaks me a little bit.
Oh, she was just like, he came in my room at night and she's like, yeah, I'm sure after your mother fucking took care of you all goddamn day.
She brought him slippers when he walked in the door, guys. That's a lot.
That's a lot. It tweaked me a bit.
But in the Jersey universe, are you guys aware that someone on Jersey had the #1 song on TikTok?
I've heard.
For many months.
I've heard.
You guys know about Gia. You guys are aware.
I do.
Okay, good.
I am aware at least of that.
Okay.
Because my dental hygienist told me.
Okay, good.
We have been Gia stans for a long time. Is it the song, I Can't Wait to Grow Up?
No, that's Melania's.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Oh my God.
It's waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just want to get rid of them. I'm tired of keeping it in, going to school, putting my makeup on. I cannot change life, worrying and worrying. I cannot change my life.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Wow.
Did that become a viral meme? Yeah, it absolutely did.
That was beautiful.
And do you think that made her any money?
No. I don't.
So you just said in the intro that people can make money on TikTok.
She was late to the game.
Don't pull a Gia.
Yeah.
Don't be late to the game.
Yeah.
Now, can we talk about the psychic?
Yes, who I want to go see personally.
Me too. She seemed so cold at the beginning. She was like, hi.
That's just Jersey, I think.
Okay. That kind of like expressionless, open mouth, like, hey.
But when she came in, weren't you? I know my bar is so low for the Housewives' children, but the way that Gia interacted with her was so present and warm, where she was just like, hi, like, I'd love to get a reading from you. I know my bar is low, but I just was like, I'm so proud of you, Gia. Like, you are the most present, clear-eyed person in your family.
Oh, Gia's amazing.
100%.
We are lucky to live on the same place that Gia is living.
Yeah.
Like, Gia's a hero.
She was so cute when she was like, bye, I gotta get on a Zoom with my sorority sisters.
With a big Tupac oversized vintage shirt or Snoop Dogg shirt and the cutest little delicate chain. I mean, I'm wearing like an homage to her right now. Like, her outfit was cute. I'm a stan.
She's a hero.
I stan Gia.
Oh, she's a hero. The way that she has kept that family together in a way, like, she has kept her mother's feet on the ground as much as they can. Gia's a hero.
She's kept my family together. She's the backbone of my family.
She's kept my feet on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, when Teresa was bopping back and forth to the door, pouring everyone, you want red, you want white, I was like, I love hanging out here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be in this big great room in this oversized fucking mausoleum.
You know what I thought to
Totally.
myself as I was watching that? Even when she said to Jackie, someone who she goes, hi, honey. I was like, what if I start saying to people, hi, honey? I loved it. It felt warm. I want someone to call me honey, even if they've been so terrible to me. Like,
even if they've suggested your daughter that was just here in the kitchen does cocaine.
she's just like, hi, honey. I loved it.
She's like, you want red? Oh, thank you.
I loved
it. It really did make me feel warm, the warmth that even Jackie was showing about her house. I'm like, wow, how are we here? It goes to show people inherently do not want to be at odds.
Yes.
It doesn't sit with anyone's soul.
I had a nice night with all my friends. We all got along. It was beautiful.
That was the best night I've had in months.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so fun being with these people. Like, here comes Dolores looking great.
Gorgeous.
Like, as everybody came in, I was responding with my face the way they were responding to each other. Like, ooh, Jen, okay.
I think it's because none of us have had anyone in our house in so long that we have decided that we are in their houses with them, having a nice night of wine and psychicness. Like we have.
But was this episode in 3D? Strangely, because I really did in that scene. I felt so immersed. It was wild.
Yes, you're right. Like it felt like it was our POV. Yes. Like someone was wearing like a fucking.
It was like Ready Player One,
like VR. We were doing VR.
Made for Love. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, when that psychic started picking them off one by one,
I have chills. I have chills talking about it. Right.
But we have to ask. Okay, she knows Dolores' dog's name. I just have to get into it here. Now, we didn't know that realtor, gorgeous woman, but is she looking up stuff? Did she sit home and binge all 11 seasons?
I like to choose to believe that these names come to her. How did she know that Jackie's grandmother was named Esther? She was like, well, she's Jewish. It's like, my grandmother's not named Esther. That's a huge leap to just assume. There's not an Esther in my family that I can think of. She didn't just pull. She couldn't have just pulled.
I mean, my
out.
best friend's name is Esther, so I was like, maybe she did guess, but I don't know. Yeah.
I choose to believe it. I just have to bring it up for anyone who's sitting in their car being like, come on, because I was moved.
Oh, I wept.
I wept, yeah.
Yeah.
When we juxtaposed her with the dog psychic from Dallas, I just felt there was a big difference in the two people.
Absolutely.
And this woman to me felt legit, and that woman felt like bullshit.
Is there something in the water in the tri-state area with like the Long Island medium and her? Is there something there?
Clayton, that's a fucking great question. I really like people, and I know there's nowhere you can contact Danielle and I. That's the central location, but if you can find me somewhere in the ether, I would love to know because that's such a great question.
Yeah,
I've wondered that. Like, there is I don't know.
I don't know, and no one will know.
And no one will
or maybe
know.
they
But
will.
That moment with Dolores, when Dolores burst into tears
about Boo, her dog,
it really made me laugh when they were like, she's not crying about David. Jen was like, she's not crying about a man.
She's like, the psychic just said she was in a dead-end relationship. That doesn't make her
But you
cry,
know why? Because she knows it in her heart. We all know David is a dead end. And so,
did you see her eyes kind of light up when she was like, you'll meet a lover. Mm-hmm. He's right. Open the door. And then she was like, maybe we'll part gracefully.
Well, when she started to cry, my boyfriend did look at me and he said, you know what Dolores' name means in Spanish? I said, what? He goes, pain. And that was hard to hear. Means suffering.
I don't want Dolores to suffer. Okay. I love her so much.
Wow, Clayton.
I can't.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for all
I wasn't either. I was like,
that is need her to be okay.
Real.
I know.
I love her so much and I need her to be okay.
And I even wrote down in the notes when she's on the phone to the doctor, her hair looked incredible.
So beautiful.
It looks so much better.
Is she doing that hair herself?
Well, here's the thing. When she's in the testimonials, it doesn't look as good as it does when she's just flouncing around the house with her ex-husband.
Clayton, is that all her hair? I can't tell.
No. Oh, no. The thing about Jersey is you see every track on their head. I mean, we do a track watch. It's literally like storm watch. We do track watching. No! We push pause, take pictures of the screen. And I will say this.
See, that's content I'd like from you. Go on.
I know. Well, I try to keep it nice and breezy and positive. That's my bucket, is not judging other hairstylists. But I will say
You're
this.
on the wrong podcast.
Okay, but I will say, well, I'm sharing it here, but I will say this. And I say this with love in my heart. You know, when you see Margaret's hair down with no pieces. Now, as someone who works with extensions with wigs, how are those ponytails being held up? Is there some sort of CGI budget? Because there's no way that the roots can hold the girth of those ponytails. Ariana Grande's neck would bend at the size of some of those ponies, and it's being held up by, I promised I wouldn't say it looked like Beetlejuice, but it's not a lot of hair.
Wow.
With love. And
I say, no, there's nothing but love. I'm laughing like I have my issues.
Well, I have hair issues. Like I have very thin hair. Like it is.
Your hair, now that you've colored it, Danielle, looks so full. And sometimes when you have fine hair, I have fine hair too. When you lighten it, it makes it like thicker, right? Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you.
Because it's
look beautiful.
Because the cuticles are all shattered and broken apart.
So they plump up.
Literally
they're like
just
broken up. It's like
a Christmas tree. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
Whose hair do you love across the board? Just while we're at hair.
Well, Dolores. Well, should we talk Housewives hair?
Yes.
Okay, Dolores's hair was. I mean, I ask everyone to go and watch the scene where she's on the phone with the doctor. Her hair. It could be in a campaign.
Getting the results of a biopsy. Let's not forget.
Okay, sure. But the hair, I understand.
Talk about high-low.
Okay. But that hair was stunning. Erica Jane's hair always looks great. Dorit, my friend Justine does Dorit's hair. One of my best friends, Mel, does her makeup. I think Dorit's hair is...
Oh, she looks the best of anyone.
Did your friend do the clips heard round the world? Remember, she did
everything, and I have all those clips. If you guys ever want to play,
stop.
Remember, I had fake ones. I bought fake ones for a live show we did out here.
Yes,
was that me?
You did. That was you.
Yeah.
Was that me or someone on TV or Dorit?
I don't know anymore. I really don't.
I am the only person in the world that loves Rinna's hair. And it's a shock.
I know, that Rinna's hair is like your North Star. That I know that is very like, that's something important to you. And I respect that.
Thank you.
My good friend Scott does Rinna's hair, and I think her wigs and stuff are fierce as well.
Wow.
Now, I don't do any Housewives. That's, I'd like to.
One day.
But,
is that a hard and fast, or you?
I would love to. My agent doesn't want me to go in that direction.
Yeah.
But maybe
one day. I was
going to
say, I know a couple have poked around about you.
Well, you guys, I did DM Alexis Bellino over the summer to try to do her hair. I had a couple glasses of wine. I did DM her about doing her hair, and I said I would do it for free. And somehow the conversation ended up where I would end up paying her to do her hair. So I had to back out. You guys, I stan Alexis Bellino. I get cameos from her. Justice for Alexis. One of them, you guys, she's the least self-aware housewife of all time. She's the only one left that's not in on the game. Like, we gotta have Alexis back. She's the future of the franchise.
This is shocking.
I do think having her back is a great idea, Clayton, because that fucking city's trash.
Yeah.
They need new blood that I actually care about. And I feel like Alexis, she's got a new man. Jim is out the door with his water park and his trampoline parks.
Yeah,
this
she's going
good.
When she would be sending cameos throughout the summer to me and my loved ones, she was constantly going to trunk shows in the middle of the pandemic. I'm talking, June, April. I'm talking April and March.
Well, in Orange County, it doesn't seem that they just realized there was a pandemic. Her and Melissa Gorga seem to have been at any trunk show that would have them during this pandemic.
But I also think they need to bring Heather back. Don't you guys think that Heather needs to come back?
To Orange County? I never thought I would say this, but I do think when Orange County went off the rails, Heather was gone.
She was the glue to hold that show together.
And she was a little of a person saying like she wouldn't stand for Kelly Dodd's craziness. Like, even though she was her own brand of crazy and terrible in her own way, like, she was the one that was like, enough, like, no more of this crazy shit. Like, she shut it down.
Yeah. You need someone that the girls who are wild and say stuff, you need someone that even they're afraid of and are trying to impress. Like watching Vicky and Tamra trying to be like classy. Smart and classy, like with literal mink stoles, like I Love Lucy, like that was something to behold.
And if you remember,
you're right, that was beautiful.
And if you remember, Heather shut down Shannon, who's gone so like lost her mind.
I need you to leave now. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My children are sleeping. I need you to leave.
Whoa. Beautiful words.
Clayton, these are great opinions. Do you think, okay, sorry to just ask one question about Jersey women and the glam. Do you think they're all doing themselves during this pandemic? Like just what we're seeing, not testimonials?
No, I think there's, I think
someone stashed away.
Yeah, Melissa Gorga is not doing herself. There's no way she's doing herself.
I will say that the glam world was not stopped by the pandemic. Like literally you lift a couch and we just scatter like roaches. Like there are just little gay guys who will touch a housewife's hair as far as the eye can see. And we're not going anywhere.
Why was I fucking doing my own lashes for Watch What Happens Live? I mean, this is bullshit.
That's a discussion for another day. That's unacceptable.
It was unacceptable.
Yeah.
But this was like March 20th.
Yeah, we didn't
Andy had
know.
us on. Like it was one day into lockdown.
And I was dressed like Sonia Morgan.
People were getting glam March 20th. People were getting glam.
Yeah,
March
you were
20th.
dressed
I
like
told
Sonia
Casey
Morgan.
this was like right when we shut down, and Casey had to go on.
He was like, let's trot out those
And
clowns to make people laugh.
This is like the town had.
It's like the USO.
But the town hadn't shut down yet. Like things were about to shut down. Like things were like
Right.
we were just on the cusp. And Casey was doing a wonderful charity event. And I said, Casey, I think you were doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for charity. I think you were doing something.
Yes.
And I said, you were like, I have to do this. I'm doing this for my mother's charity. I'm going to do this. And I said, okay, I think that's good. I'm glad you're doing it. But maybe you just don't get hair and makeup. And
I was supposed to do this for that, Casey. That was
Yeah,
like
I know
one
you
of
were.
the-
So I guess you weren't scattering like a roach on that one, were you?
No, my agents were literally like,
I'm so enough with your agent.
Okay,
Stop
sorry.
hiding behind this mythic fucking creature.
all right, I'll shut up.
No, go ahead.
No,
ahead.
but they were just like, this job isn't being pulled. This is the one job that is still
It was
on the
the
books.
one job. The world had shut,
Yeah.
and they're like, "You'll be there at 10 a.m. at Sony."
Yeah.
And I said to you, you should do your own hair. Like, I understand why you're doing this. It's an important cause. But to so you don't have a risk, I said, let's just not do hair and makeup. And Casey said to me, I said, just do your own hair and makeup. And you were like, Danielle, that won't be happening. You said
Danielle.
I can't even hear those words.
That was an unacceptable suggestion, honestly. But because they basically said, if I show up, even if you show up to that show, you get $25,000 for your charity, whether you win or lose. So
That's
I was
nice.
like, for my mom's small charity,
Yeah.
Huge
you know,
Respect.
that's huge. And it was kind of amazing. I get there, I step into the trailer with a hair person that cared about me and Kathleen Carradine, longtime makeup person. And literally that moment, the guy that runs Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you remember that guy, Danielle?
Yes.
We had met with him before, the head of
yes.
that huge reality franchise. He's like, we're shutting down immediately. He was basically like, get your things and run. We'll give you the $25,000. And it was like, I was there for 2 minutes. It was perfect. So I'm so happy I went. But
Yeah.
it was pretty terrifying. Everybody was literally running. He's like, if I don't get my crew on planes, they're shutting down airports. And people were scattering
Oh
like
my
roaches.
God. Yikes.
Oh my gosh. Yikes. Anything else on Jersey?
I'm just happy that I'm with them. I'm happy to be with them during this time. I'm having a lovely summer with the gals of Jersey.
Me too.
And also, I saw when I was watching it, it said it was episode 9. And it's rare when you're watching a Housewives show where you go, yeah, that feels right. This feels like the 9th episode. It doesn't feel like it's gone on too long or too little. I'm like, yeah, we're on episode 9. 9 episodes worth of stuff has happened.
Right. And what happened on 9 feels
Yeah.
9. It's like a psychic comes in
Yeah.
and like we got some tears. Everyone's kind of getting along for the most part. Wow.
Should we take a break and do Atlanta?
Yes. Do. We're back with Atlanta.
Atlanta.
These gals, talk about I'm having fun with them. I'm having a fucking blast with them.
I'm so grateful for Drew Sidora.
Oh my God. A star is born.
We owe her so much.
A star has been here and is now born to us because she is a light.
She's beautiful.
Unbelievable.
She's fun. She introduced us to a prophet. Like we are.
The prophet.
The prophet. That was weird.
I loved it.
It's the weirdest storyline. Cynthia was really making me laugh in the testimony. She was like, we tried to figure out who was sleeping with Bolo, but this prophet is way more confusing. Like everything inside going on with the prophet is wild. Let's talk about the prophet. Okay, so if you haven't seen
Prophet Lot.
People are like, what? If they haven't seen this. So Drew was trying to get her baby blessed by a prophet, a man who is called the prophet. I think, he's a religious man that's very close with her family. He was going to give her baby a blessing.
She acted like he was very close with Drew's family, but then later, it became unclear how close they actually were.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I will attest, like if someone's spiritual and means a lot to you, I think you could have an attachment to them that maybe they don't have to you. I don't know. Maybe he's her barefoot Contessa is what I felt to me.
Yes. And he's a prophet, which is, she defined it for us, and I can't remember exactly, but it was I know a prophet is a religious.
Please define it, Danielle.
And I'm sure I'm getting this wrong, but a prophet is someone who doesn't necessarily talk to God, but they have a closer relationship to God. Does God speak through them?
Speaking through them, I think, a bit. Yeah.
And do you deign yourself a prophet? Is it like a pope where you get deigned that? Do we know?
Is it Esther Hicks and Abraham? I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I really made me laugh when Drew was like, look, I introduced the prophet to LaToya. You have to share God with me. I mean, just like, period, end of story, you have to.
I thought Drew introduced her to the driver, her driver, yes. And her driver assistant introduced her to the prophet
Lot.
But they didn't meet him at church? Because I know that Drew and LaToya went to church together.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. These are questions that like the scientists, the COVID scientists, will never even know. They're working on answers.
They're working. I think they met at church. They reunited again, and perhaps there was a hotel room after the night that Drew nicely tried to offer Toya a ride home. Okay, Toya's wild. Toya's going through a divorce. We think we're not quite sure what's going on. No,
she is.
Okay, she is.
If Toya says she's going through a divorce, I'm going to believe her. She is.
Okay. No, I wasn't saying that sarcastically. I just can't quite get a handle on it.
Sure.
But basically, Drew believes that Toya had what she believes to be an affair with the prophet, Lot. But the prophet, she said, has a fiance and a baby. And Drew was very upset about it. She's like, I can't get a blessing for my baby. And she's basically sleeping with a man that's close to our family and ruining his family.
But then we get the prophet on FaceTime.
She brought him out. And when he accepted that call, I have to say, I was on Drew's side all the way. I was like, LaToya,
Me too.
This is bad. Like, what a homewrecker. The second that Prophet Lot accepted that FaceTime call and you heard that little bloop bloop, I was like, I'm going to have to jump over the other side.
I was like, no, I'm on Toya's side now. Like, this is...
Yeah. I'm like, Drew, stay out of her business. Yeah. How could you? You don't even know him.
She's not a Delilah.
No, she's not a Delilah.
Because I did not agree in the beginning with Cynthia and Candy when they were like, she's making such a huge deal out of this. I was like, no, I can understand. I would be upset if a family that I was close to, was broken up over this woman that's been mean to her to begin with.
But she also didn't say, I'm good friends with that. And it's just a rumor. Why not trust...
Why can't, who can bless the baby? Can't Candy? I feel like Candy could have blessed the baby. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Let's really.
But if anyone could bless a baby, it would be Candy. But to me, the best scene in the entire episode, tell me if you guys agree, is Cynthia's weigh-in with my kill.
That was
amazing. It was a 15-second scene. That was perfect.
I rewound it because I was finally I've seen. They go, you lying ass scale. They literally this scale line. She goes, it keeps going up. Every day it goes up. What's it going to say tomorrow? I'm 200. And then he's like, and then they proceed to throw the scale in the trash can.
I loved. That's just comedy. That's just
okay. Well, I will say, speaking of the scale, there was something very large in the episode, which was Kenya's breasts when she was on FaceTime with her breast reduction surgeon. I was titillated by that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Him looking through the FaceTime, I was like, oh, I'm okay. I'm attracted to him. This is not a scene meant to be sexy. She's literally opening her top and showing him her boobs for him to discuss how he's going to slice and dice them and make them smaller. And I was like, this is a sexy scene.
I think she has such beautiful bosom. I don't want, and again, I'm all for any woman doing or a man doing whatever that makes them feel good about ourselves. But and I get it. When you have really heavy breasts, you don't want them to be like that anymore. It hurts your back and stuff. But I do think she has such a gorgeous bosom. I don't want to say goodbye to them. I enjoyed them.
And we said goodbye so quick. It was
over a Zoom, no less.
Over Zoom. It happened so quickly. Next thing I know, she's at a reveal party for her titties. I'm like, I can't. Wow.
Yeah. The time, it sort of felt like a time traveling episode, if I'm being honest. Yes, sometimes it's summer. Sometimes it's Halloween. Now it's she's had surgery. It's wild.
That is the Atlanta weather too. Fall, it can be cold. It can be hot. what I loved in the scene is us getting to the bottom of Marlo's surgery because, like, because we
Marlo, you guys, I am a Marlo. I'm a Marlo truther. I am a Marlo head. I am a Marlo stan. I am addicted to Marlo.
Well, we couldn't get our heads around if she was in pain from her lipo or if her kid jumped on her. Both her nephews jumped on her back.
Why can't both be true? Okay, listen, Danielle, when you have lipo and you're taking care of your nephews and they just gotta get on your back right after surgery, it hurts.
She was like, watching her lie and get caught in that lie. I feel like I've been in that situation. It was horrible watching her being like, oh, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
She did not care.
The lie also comes very shortly after her being like, so I'm really sorry I acted crazy the other day. I feel really bad about how she gave this big apology and then immediately got caught in a lie.
Well, because she was like, I just want you to be honest. And Portia, who I love, is like, okay, well, I just thought we're all being honest here about everything. So if I'm being honest here and you're being honest here, when did you get lipo or did your nephews jump on your back? And she was like,
well, no, because first she said, oh, I'm going to go get lipo in a few days. That's how it came up. And they're like, well, didn't you just get lipo?
And she's like,
it was so
she's
juicy.
like, I've had it twice. It made no sense.
And she was like, no.
I've never seen Marlo like a deer in headlights like that.
And her shoulder pad look in the testimonial is chef's kiss, one of my favorite housewives looks. I love an exaggerated 80s power bit shoulder, and Marlo pulls it off like no one else could.
She's fashion.
Do you love her styling and glam?
1000%. I love Marlo, and I'm going to say this, you guys. I don't miss Nene. I don't miss Nene at all on the show.
I'm starting to feel this.
I don't miss her. I think the show is so much better without her.
It's buoyant. It does feel very light on its feet.
There's no darkness.
Kenya is still the cloud hanging over us.
I can deal with a Kenya cloud. That's a cloud. The other is like scratching producers' backs in a closet.
I did enjoy those moments. Just because the chaos. It was just the chaos of like the cameras going down and not knowing what was happening and just seeing like feet and screams and
scuffle.
Like that was always.
But didn't one of the camera people go to the hospital?
Yeah. And we've seen that on Jersey too, where it's just like feet and screams, and so we still get it where we can, which is nice.
The last thing I just want to say is why doesn't Kenya understand? It is psychotic that she doesn't have food when she has a group of girls over.
She never has food. I find that so upsetting.
Triggering.
Yeah, that was...
Like, Marlo has to order fucking pizzas to her place.
And she's never embarrassed. Wouldn't you be mortified if someone came to your house and ordered pizza? I would literally, get the safe, get the gun, put it between my eyes. Like, I can't live anymore if someone did that.
We have a friend who, when we go to their house, they never have food. And when they do have food, like, they'll be like, come for dinner to my house. And it will literally be like, I remember one time we came to their house and it was just soup. And I was like, this is not enough. This is not like a meal. Like, I need more than soup. And so I always say before I go to their house, like, we have to bring food. Like, I need to bring food because they are, I guess, very healthy or whatever. But like, there's just never food. And I'm always like, we need to bring food.
But they haven't specified that you should bring food. You're just like impromptu showing up with a bunch of food.
I show up with food even when they invite us to dinner.
No, Danielle. And they don't find that strange?
Well, because I just like... I put it in my purse, but I do bring food.
Is it just for you or for everyone?
No, for me. I bring food for myself.
Okay.
And my husband.
Well, that's a horse of a different color.
Oh, I thought you were bringing like at least a platter.
No, I'm bringing food in my purse to eat on the side.
No, she has like a sandwich in her purse.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Because there's not enough.
I thought you were going to say you ate before you went.
No, I bring it with me because we're there for a while and I'm not going to last the day. I need food.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Again, I'm not trying to bring up the book, Danielle, but I went to a dinner party with you and Diane. It's in the book. I will not tell the whole story, but we showed up to it was supposed to be 4 couples dinner party at someone's home. They begged us to come over for months. We get there and the husband's like, well, who's going to go get the food? And we're like, pick it up. I'm thinking ordering. And he's like, no, we don't have anything. Someone's got to go to the store. And I'm like, we're fucking here. Someone's got to get to the store, bag the food, drive home, cook the food. We're looking at fucking 5 hours here. And the husband and wife are like completely unfazed. She goes, all we have is Tylenol. Unacceptable.
I don't know who raised these people. I don't know who raised Kenya. I don't know who raised your friend.
Unfortunately,
Clayton. Oh, we do know.
But she knows, right. But I do think we learn behavior as adults, even if like there's so many things in my house that were insane. But as an adult that I've learned, like, oh, this is how we deal with this, especially when you had a party and only ordered food for yourself and everybody else was like you learned the lesson of the past 2 weeks ago, right? Like you never learned.
And my mom raised me with a very weird thing, which is when you go to someone's house, you don't accept food because you don't want to seem greedy. So I remember coming home from sleepovers so dehydrated, almost like to the point of collapse, because I would be like, no, I'm perfectly fine, like shaking.
I also want to say,
why did
that's
she
so
feel
insane?
That?
You know, I'm not sure. I think maybe I went over to someone's house and maybe ate too much, and she was like, you're being greedy. I might have gone in the opposite direction.
So...
But the point is, I'm okay now, and I'm taking pictures of Casey Wilson for her Instagram.
No. Wait, I want to speak on food real quick because Brian Safi and I raised a question last week because we saw 2 different times, 2 different tables in Jersey ordering as an appetizer steak to share. And we thought that was a shock. We were like, why? 2 separate tables, not even talking to each other, ordering this as if
Casually.
It's a normal thing. And it was so upsetting to us. We were like, why are we all know about this? Like, we've never seen this before. How do you share a steak between like 8 people? It's so strange.
During a
pandemic.
Barely
share a steak between one person as a main course.
So we posed this question, is this a Jersey thing? Is this a thing people do? And I've gotten quite a bit of responses. And I would say that people are telling me this is a thing now, that we are sharing steaks as an appetizer and that it comes to the table.
This is depressing keto culture. It's a keto world we're living in where you're
Danielle, that's it.
Wow.
And these people don't even think they're like keto heads right now. They're just like, right, we do this without the fucking caveat. Now we know some very dear friends who are on the keto lifestyle and they are doing wonderfully with it. But
we wish them the best.
I wish I could do it. I wish them all the best.
Now it's all making sense. But I did. And then a few people tried to say to me, oh, it's just the steak tartare. And I'm like, no, I know what steak tartare is, bitch. This was not that.
Yeah, they didn't say tartare. They didn't say tartare. And let's be real about that.
It was steak. And I just want to say thank you, everyone, for your getting back to me and letting me know. I appreciated it.
Clayton, really quick before we move on, and we were touched on your mom, could you tell the story about what happened with your mom's purse?
Sure.
So cute. I just love this story. So it's charming.
So this was years ago, and my mom was like, can you go get me my purse? So I go to her closet, and I see, tons of just decent Michael Kors bags, and I bring one, and she goes, oh no, can you bring me the other one, the Row bag? I go, the Row? She goes, Mary Kate and Ashley? I go, okay. I'm thinking, Mom, you go to Marshall's, and I know they aren't selling the Row at Marshall's. And I go, Mom, I don't see a Row bag. She goes, Clay, I have several. MK. This is the one that Mary Kate designed. I go, Mom, that's actually going to go ahead and be Michael Kors, and his lower line that's at Marshall's. And she wasn't embarrassed. She just chose not to believe me. Because I'm pretty sure
I love this story. Yeah. It's so cute because, the Row is this, fashion line, and she thought the MK was Mary Kate. I love it.
I go, Mom, did you even think these bags were that pretty? She goes, well, no, but I just know that they have really good taste. So I assume they knew something I didn't.
I love her.
Oh,
yeah.
Mom is
Shout
wonderful.
out to my mom.
Shout out. I love her.
But yeah, anytime you see, and I think we all should walk around with the confidence of someone with a Michael Kors bag thinking that it's a Row bag. And that's what I wish upon everyone who's listening to this show.
And as a person who has owned many a Michael Kors bag, thinking it was big.
As have I, of course. Of course.
Yes, of course. I wish myself that confidence as well.
Should we take a break and come back with Dallas? We're back. Cam for president.
Okay.
Cam for president.
A terrible president.
I'm all about Cam all the time.
Now, which part of Cam that she loved Charlotte's Web when she saw the pig sprawled out? We've had a lot of pigs dead pigs sprawled in front of our ladies.
Oh my God.
I gotta say, I get that these shows aren't really wish fulfillment anymore, but I don't care that it's a pandemic. I don't need to see women driving in an RV, although I was really laughing. Actually, maybe I do need to see it when all their stuff was sliding all over the RV. That was good. But like, all these games in the middle of Oklahoma and the cabin.
And so much Dr. Pepper. They're spraying Dr. Pepper for the mud wrestling pit. They're making Dr. Pepper.
That is my favorite drink, though.
Biscuit donuts. No, I kind of wanted a Dr. Pepper after, but it's a lot of Dr. Pepper work.
Just felt like Stephanie was like, I'm finally at home, girls, in Oklahoma. And I'm like, you guys could have driven 1 hour. You've been in a cabin. You haven't left. Why do you need to be in the woods of Oklahoma for this?
Bigfoot.
It did make me laugh when Brandy got in the hot tub in the Bigfoot costume.
I was so disgusted.
I was
disgusted. Disgusted.
Okay, well,
why?
It made me ill.
You guys,
I loved it.
As someone who, as a young child, was sexually confused by Harry and the Hendersons, I did kind of like all of the the Bigfoot play in this episode.
There was a lot to like.
I mean, he was so tall.
But Brandy as Bigfoot was so small. She looked like such a little twerp. I just can't stand her and her antics. Like, even when she got in the thing, I was like, get out of there. You're getting all that costume hair in the drain. I was very upset about it. Think about who had to...
That hot tub just seemed like a cesspool of like Cam's shaving cream and the Bigfoot costume.
Nasty.
It didn't feel like anyone was draining. I did feel bad for him with Carrie going off, and her apology to him was so pathetic.
I wrote down her apology.
I would love to hear it, please.
I'm sorry I talked about your small pee-pee, but I was hurt that you wouldn't give me a machete. And, what I liked is that she apologized and she explained where the hurt was coming from, and the hurt was coming from that he wouldn't give her the sword.
Or she did have it. He was just like, please put it the fuck down. You're scaring me.
He was scared. He was very scared.
She was drunk and insane.
Now, this is my first season watching Dallas, and I watched the whole season. I like it. I'm on board. I was unsure at first. I'm on board. I like Carrie. Is this a normal reaction? I like her.
I hate her.
Oh, she's horrible, but she's kind of like an Alexis Bellino category for me.
Really? See, I think she brings us nothing but negative energy and victimization and bullying and boringness.
Yeah, I love victims. I love someone who identifies as a victim.
She does.
Oh, you like that?
I do. Yeah. I like that.
Oh, okay. Then we're carry on.
We're judging them for different things.
And I love someone that really acts out, and then when someone's upset with how you've acted out, then they get to be the victim. That to me is fun to watch.
Interesting.
Okay, wow. Now I love Tiff. Still loving Tiff.
Icon.
I have been mad at Tiff's mother for so long because, basically what Tiff said, and I believe that these things are all true. But then to hear the story, how Tiff would be in the library and her mother was like studying and it broke my fucking heart. But I would just felt so bad. But here's this mother trying for a better life in this country and at the library and probably doesn't have the money or the means to and she has a young child, and the only place she can go is the library and take her there while she's learning.
Right.
I felt for both of them in that moment, just a mother story, an immigrant story. I just felt the pain of the whole of the years on both of their shoulders. And I wanted them to both be like, she did the best she could with what she had. And I'm, you know what I mean? That story. And I know Tiffany was still hurt by it, of course, and that's legitimate. But as a mother, I just was like, she did the best she could.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart.
I think that's right.
It was very painful. And although I was so touched when they were hugging and she said, I'm proud of you, I was like, I don't know if I don't know what's happening necessarily. If the mom's acting this because she's on camera, but I thought it was totally genuine.
Now, again, you guys, this book ended with Jen from Jersey's, these sort of mother-daughter scenes that we saw. This is some peak housewives shit. This is some high-stakes real family drama that we got to experience this week.
Not to mention in the middle, we've got Mama Day.
Mama Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Mama Day.
I
actually, guys, I've said it before. I'm warming more and
Me
more to
too.
Deandra. The fact that Deandra, I feel, is growing, and I do mean by an inch. I mean a fucking inch, okay, guys? And she will take a mile. But the fact that she's not all over Tiff in a mean way, jealous of the fact that Tiff and Mama D have a nice relationship, is, to me, a little bit of growth for Deandra.
Now, what was she like before?
A monster.
And
Okay.
I will say it's like, obviously, the story of her family is very complicated, and I do believe she probably took her stepfather's name for benefit, and hurt her real father, that way. And it's really upsetting because her real father committed suicide. But she's referring to herself. She's like, "You don't do that." Like, I guess her stepmother was like, she said, like, left the will on the bed like hours after her father had killed himself. Like, it's awful. But the same, she's like, "You don't do that to a child." I was 36. It was like, wait, what? Like, again, terrible at any age. But just, she kept referring to herself as a child.
That is older than me. I just want to let the listeners know.
Wait, Danielle, I didn't catch that. She was 36?
Yeah, her first marriage, she said she came back from the honeymoon when she was 36 years old.
And her father took his own life.
I thought of this as though she was like 19.
No, the brother, I think, or the sibling was much younger, right?
I think so. Again, I could have this wrong, but
because the way she kind of has always framed it, I guess I thought she was way younger.
and again, horrible at any age, terrible.
Yeah.
But the way she keeps referring to herself as a child, like, I'm just, and I do think she sees herself as a child.
Yes. But the darkness of a parent, the utter darkness, like where I heard that story for the first time. Granted, again, I didn't just remember the detail of her age, but we've heard versions of the story. But the way it was laid out this week, which is that he killed himself, and on her bed, he left a will leaving her nothing.
He didn't. I think the stepmom placed it on her bed.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
The father played. Okay, I guess I didn't hear it for the first time. I didn't hear it right at all.
I think the
Oh my God. I've been like thinking about this nonstop. Like, what the fuck? Deandra's like, Dad, put this on the bed. I would think the two things are completely related.
Casey, if that's what you were thinking, that's
so dark.
I don't know how you've slept the past week.
I've been like, of course I'm coming around at the end. Okay, so the stepmom is a fucking bitch.
Right, which is easier to handle. You can grasp that your stepmother is evil.
I can grasp.
That we can, and even...
That's an archetype we've all lived with.
That you can...
Since
and
Disney.
This is the first time I'm hearing this detail, which is that she offered to share the will completely, but this, like, I won't fight this in court. We will split this in half.
Share it with the brother.
And she said, no, I'll go to court. And then she lost. So
I actually felt maybe Deandra doesn't have as much to be sorry for as we thought, as I assumed.
Because that was the first time I'm hearing this.
But something also felt not true to me when she was like, he didn't give my mother child support, but in exchange, he promised to give me everything. Like that just... I don't think she's lying about it, but that feels like something the mom lied about. I don't know. Just maybe it's the truth. It didn't have the ring of truth to me.
So Deandra did get all this money. So now a lot more is coming into focus for me. That's what she's been living on this whole time. I was thinking she was always kind of living on Mama D's money this whole time.
I think she's living on both. I don't know how much money she got from from the real father, because I think the stepfather was the one with all the money. I don't think her real father. Again, I'm just gleaning small bits, but I don't think her real father had like millions and millions. I think it was just what he had. I don't believe he was a multimillionaire. Like, I think her stepfather was a big.
Right. And that's, of course, why Mama D has shared she went after him. Right.
This is what I think.
Wow. Complex. Now, I know you guys talked about it. I know you talked about your new blossoming love of court, Danielle. But I had to rewind the scene because I hadn't seen it. I wasn't here last week, so I was catching up. The scene 100 times. David and I laughed so hard, and we've been doing it to each other when court was like, Cam and I went, "Argh!" He was like, Cam, what did I say to you? And I went,
what is happening?
It seemed like he was like losing control of his bowels and his voice.
It was such a shock. I was like, this acting is so emotional. We're like,
oh my God.
It's one of the greatest 5 seconds of Housewives I've ever seen.
Upsetting. Can we talk about the charlatan, if you want to talk about the dog psychic.
Charlatan. Now, I believe in all manner of the spiritualists.
You will see anyone.
Anyone I will see, and I will give them a stamp
and
of validity.
A lot of money.
This woman who's got Cam.
I don't like Cam at all. At all. I have to say it. When someone's whole identity is designer labels and naming your dog like Louis Vuitton, it freaks me out, if I'm being honest. It actually freaks me out.
And you love Marlo.
And you love Alexis.
Marlo, first of all, Marlo, if Marlo named her dog Louis Vuitton and you asked her, Marlo, who's the head designer of Louis Vuitton? She would say, here's who's been designing for it. Here are my favorite silhouettes. It's referencing this from the 1984 collection. If you ask Cam, she would be like, I heard it in Legally Blonde. Like, it's
or she'd be like, it's his name is Louis Vuitton.
She doesn't love fashion. She loves labels. Marlo loves fashion. There's a difference.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I stand corrected, Clayton. No, I understand.
You got put in your place.
But I do think you're wrong. Cameron's actually in the Alexis Bellino category. I just think you're not situating her there yet.
Okay.
Yet.
I'm open to liking her.
She is genuinely funny to me in her cluelessness.
No, look, is Cam...
There's something about her I like. She's childlike, but old. I'm like, are you 80 or are you 11?
Okay. I'm willing to look at her through your eyes.
Just give her another look.
Okay.
We've also seen her grow, not as a person, but... And we were talking about this a little bit last week, which is like her comfort has grown. She's settled into the role of Cameron, where she used to be so kind of uptight now. And terrible person hasn't grown as a human, but grown as a housewife. Okay.
I'm only like 10 episodes deep with her, and she for sure is the one on that. This is what I thought they all were going to be like on Dallas. And I was like, yeah, but I'm willing to. You said Alexis Bellino, and my heart started beating a little faster, and I'm going to look at her differently.
Thank you. Just give her a glance. Mm-hmm. Give her a glance. Anything else, guys? This has been a night.
It really has been a night, and I'm so happy to have spent it with you to get these life lessons, these housewife lessons. You've really forced us to look at ourselves and Alexis Bellino in a different light,
and our alter selves, Danielle.
I worry that I am that weird gay guru with the 30-inch extensions in Dallas. And I think I might be more him than Mikey Minden. That's something that I'm having to swallow right now, and that's hard to accept. Uh-oh.
I mean, you do dish up some truth and some spirituality and some extensions.
I do.
Wow. And I'm Deandra. Let's be honest. I'm obsessed with skincare. I think Deandra looks pretty good.
Deandra looks great.
Her skin.
I liked when her husband came back from camping and she said he stunk like a Subway franchise, because I was like, that's actually one of my, like, a well-maintained Subway franchise is one of the better smells I can think of.
I knew exactly what she meant, and that smells like home
Me
to
too.
me. I was like,
she was like, he stinks. I was like, oh, I kind of want to smell
that
it.
Subway franchise smell, that to me is coming home. That's like, I'm home.
100%.
I'm happy.
Bleach and turkey.
And a 7-Eleven, if you ever walk in there.
Of course.
So
my other
good.
favorite smell is that of a Chili's. Like, I can smell Chili's on somebody.
The booth. Yeah. And the booth also has a really strong smell. That booth cleaner.
Guys, don't you miss those like high back booths at like a TGI Fridays where you're ensconced in heaven on earth? A suburban dream.
I order an Oreo Speedwagon and just let my troubles go away.
My mouth is watering. I want a Dr. Pepper and an Oreo Speedwagon.
Yes, we need an Outback Steakhouse. I need a bloomin' onion. I need to just relax with you guys.
Be myself, my true Florida self.
Well, may we have a night, much like Teresa and the gals did in New Jersey soon. May you all. Clayton Hawkins. I don't think we need to state where anyone can find you online, as we've said it, but at Clayton Hawkins.
Oh, Lord.
Anything else you want everyone to know or where to find you?
Yeah, well, I actually host another podcast called Glowing Up with two amazing comedians, Esther Pavitsky and Caroline Goldfarb, where we talk all things girly, pop culture, beauty. So give that a listen. And yeah, follow me.
I love it.
I love it. Danielle, this was so much fun. I'm so happy to see you. I missed you.
Missed you too. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Earwolf. Yeah. Thank you so much, Danielle.
I loved me.